Do you have questions about the eBay item location policy update? And that's people all over the Facebook groups, all over the YouTube comments, over the internet, all concerned and uncertain about the future of eBay dropshipping. Well, in this video, there is a live call that my business partner Jason did do that is going to give you all of the answers on what to do with your eBay item location. So if you are interested in this, please be sure to watch the entire video because this video goes over everything that you need. It is a live call with an eBay representative on what to do with your eBay item location on your eBay dropshipping items. So if you don't know who Jason is, he is my business partner. He also does run a channel called Wholesale Dropshipping Champions. It's been a little inactive recently, but he is going to start uploading videos this week. The link to his channel is down in the description. And please be sure to subscribe to his channel. And please be sure to also like this video. Let's get it out to everybody because nobody out there is doing live video calls with eBay representatives like we are. And also, be sure to watch this entire video, take notes on it because we're not sure how long we're going to leave this video up for. I'm not sure if it's even okay to have this video up on YouTube, but I'm going to put it out there for a certain amount of time, so be sure to watch the entire thing. It's a live call. It's about 15 minutes long with an eBay representative that goes through and tells you everything that you need to do with your eBay item location. One thing to keep in mind, eBay reps sometimes have been known to either really stretch the truth or not really know what they're talking about. So I've heard other people calling in and getting different responses from eBay representatives. So this is just one rep and what he has to say about it. He does put Jason on hold for a bit. I cut out all of that. I cut it out so you get all of the information that you need without any holds, and really just take into consideration what he's saying and watch the entire thing. I'll conclude at the end what I think about it and what I'm going to do and how I'm going to make changes. So let's get into it. Here's the call.
Perfect. That is everything I need. How can I help today?
So today I went into my eBay seller hub and I just had a quick question. I saw on the left-hand side that there was a link that says item location zip code. Are you familiar with that? It looks like it's under business policies. Are you familiar with that?
Let's see. So I'm on Seller Hub right now on your account. Could you kind of direct me to where you're seeing it?
Sure. It's okay. So you're in seller hub and then right along the you have to go into active listings under listings, and then on the left hand side of that under the subcategory of settings.
Location zip code.
Yeah, I've never seen that before, and I was wondering if you could explain what that's all about.
So what that is it's a newer feature for us to kind of help sellers indicate where their items are. So that will not only show for faster, I shouldn't say faster, but more accurate delivery estimate if we know what zip code your item is in versus if we didn't have a zip code or if we had maybe an outdated one. It's a newer feature. We've always had the zip code, or I shouldn't say always, but for the past while we've had a zip code available on the listing by listing. But this is just a feature that will show if any of them aren't quite accurate, or showing that there might be some concerns about them. So it's good for increasing accuracy of eBay orders, and also if ever, for bigger sellers who have multiple warehouses, that way they can set up and know that if some of them aren't quite looking right.
Okay, so what about in that circumstance, bigger sellers with multiple warehouses, multiple warehouse locations? What would go on with them?
So it would be able to tell once it saw that there was, because understandably we work with a lot of big sellers.
Sure.
We're able to kind of tell, based on also tracking information where we go, that things are coming from the locations that you're saying. So we could see for those items you ship out just around number 1,000 items from warehouse number 1, 500 from warehouse number 2. Based on the tracking information, as long as everything's adding up and looking fine, no problems whatsoever. But if it's also for us trying to track down what we call item location misrepresentation,
Sure.
which the biggest one is, international sellers saying that they aren't looking in the U.S., but it's really not, and just causing a lot of delays in the shipping time, and it just causes bad experiences for everyone. Gives eBay sellers a bad name and distrust, gives buyers a bad time. This is us trying to also crack down, but also give an easy way to fix that. Is by showing, are we looking at any problems with your zip code right now? And with yours, we're not seeing a single one.
Okay. So that's really interesting, and I'm happy you addressed those questions. So in that scenario you were just talking about where you have warehouse A and warehouse B, and you have 1,000 items being shipped from warehouse A and 500 from warehouse B, what would they do in that situation? Because if I put a zip code of 80525 for Colorado in that one, and it just so happens that a third of those orders were actually shipped out of a San Francisco warehouse, would eBay take measures to decrease me in listings, like in the exposure? Or what would happen? Because I'm not so sure I understand in that situation what would happen.
Okay. So what would happen is initially that we would see. So just what I'm understanding is that you have multiple of same item. So item number one, but split between the two different warehouses.
Sure. Yeah. Smart logistics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Just want to make sure. So that is something we see as well, because people want to have items passed. So, want to have a couple warehouses throughout the country, so everything is within 1 or 2 day shipping. Definitely something we see and something we work with. That is something we plan for, and that's built into kind of the algorithm that we would plan for and be aware of it.
Okay, so that is considered into the algorithm?
That is something that is considered, and if there's ever a problem, there is ways that we can set up for it to be ready to have multiple locations.
Okay.
So you can set up, there's a way like an account, kind of the weird thing that we don't see too often because you usually only have to set up one time. But you can set up saying, okay, I have warehouses in zip code XYZ, ZYX, and QWR. So that way we know we can kind of almost always expect shipments from virtually any of your listings from there as well.
And where would you put that information?
The way we usually see that, let me find that here. I know it's in a couple different spots. The biggest one I've seen is the guaranteed delivery, but that doesn't quite apply here. Let me take just a minute or two to find that exact spot.
Sure, no rush.
Well, I'm understanding, is that something you're pretty interested in, so I can get a lot of information pulled up?
Yeah, absolutely. Because we work with several suppliers, and some of our suppliers do have multiple locations across the country. So I just want to be I really want to understand what's going on here to see if it affects my account. And if so, I want to know what steps I have to do to make sure that I'm in compliance going forward.
Right, understandable. And just want to understand your suppliers, you have merchant agreement set up with them.
Yes.
For them to supply and ship out. Okay.
Yes.
Good to know.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Let me take a couple of minutes, Jason, just have you on a brief hold, okay?
No worries. Thanks.
So looking through, so the only time where we get that specific and set up, the multiple warehouse locations is if we get enrolled into the guaranteed delivery program, where we need that exact precise information to be able to offer those guarantees if needed. So in the general sense where we're at the moment, because I'm seeing that you're not enrolled in the guaranteed delivery program.
Okay, hold on just a second, sir. It sounds like I'm on speakerphone or something. I can't really hear you too well.
Okay, let me try and adjust it.
Oh, there we go. That's a little better. Thank you.
Is this better?
Yeah, that's a little better. Thank you.
Okay, no worries. Thanks for interrupting me. So, yeah, with the guaranteed delivery program is the one where we get that precise location from where you can ship from. Besides that, our algorithm, we are confident enough in it that it will be sufficient to get a general estimate. So up until, unless you decide to enroll in the guaranteed delivery program, we don't need to set up, or it won't even give us the option to set up an in-depth location by location, warehouse by warehouse situation.
Okay. So what you're saying to me is pretty much either A, you can enroll in the guaranteed shipping program, which we can more finely tune where the shipping location is for multiple warehouses, or we have enough confidence in the algorithm to actually pick up on multiple locations for the warehouse and recognize that as where they're being shipped from. And if it's being shipped from those like 2 or 3 warehouses several times over and over, the algorithm will recognize that, and we won't have to suffer any consequences related to not accurately putting our item location.
Correct.
Okay.
That is very correct. And if you're concerned, I show you a spot on the website where you can monitor if you're breaking any sort of eBay policy.
Yeah.
To show
Okay.
you. Okay. That's just a good thing to always keep by. Plus, it's kind of a newer tool. So the way to get there is called the Seller Help Center. The way to find that is by clicking on the help and contact pages, top of any eBay webpage.
Okay, just a second here.
Okay.
Help and contact. Okay, I got it pulled up right here, and here it is.
The green box. Try our new Seller Help.
Sure, I see it.
We'll click on that. Then a blue screen should pop up. We might have to hide that screen. It just goes over the basics.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Looks like there's a whole section down here. And what would I do from there?
So we'll look for policies on the left-hand side.
Okay, I see it. And it says no action required. So it looks like there's nothing on my account.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I mean, we're seeing your account's in good standing. You're not breaking any policies, and if we ever do start to see that, we add it there so you can work towards getting that fixed up. There won't be any account action taken.
Okay, and if I was to have any item location misrepresentation, it would be sitting in this policy section right here. Is that correct?
It'd be in a couple spots. It'd be there. It would be in on the overview of the Seller Hub. It will show in the tasks section.
Okay.
Where, once it gets to a certain point, or it will show in that item location zip code that we looked at earlier.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, just one quick question too before I let you go. Thank you for your patience, by the way. I was wondering because I see the item location policy pulled up here, and it looks like it was recently changed. I don't know if it was this past week or maybe this past month sometime, but there's no section anymore about using multiple locations when you put it into your zip code, your ship from address. We used to be able to put multiple locations, or at least that's what it said in the entire policy page. And I know that because are you familiar with Wayback Machine? It's like an internet archive website where you just put in the URL and it'll pull up snippets or screenshots from past events. So I have screenshots from the past as well. I try to document everything as I can. And in the past, it used to read, all items located in the United States must include a zip code or use the shipping rate table unless the item ships using freight shipping or will ship from multiple locations. And on the new item location policy overview, I don't see that anywhere. So I was just wondering what's going on with that.
Yeah, we have been reevaluating kind of our shipping policy because we have been experiencing a lot of problems with basically two categories of shippers. The item location misrepresentation and also drop shippers as well. So we're reevaluating our policy, and looks like they have made some changes as to that. There still is that shipping rate table if you're interested, where you can set up showing I can do like economy shipping to states. You can choose whatever state. I can do overnight to these states, and it just kind of shows, lets you set up a more customized if you want. That is one option, but it doesn't do it by zip code. It does it by state.
Okay, so just to be clear, we can't use the multiple locations, just like when I make a new listing, put in multiple locations in the zip code section or in the city state section because there's some issues that eBay's been recently having. Is that correct?
Let me double check to see if that's still an option. I just know that that's part of the reason why we've been adjusting it.
Okay, because I try to keep in compliance and see what's going on, and sometimes it's hard to keep up with all these updates. They come at us so fast.
Right. We have an entire company making changes, so it's definitely pretty hard to keep up.
Right.
Take a quick look. Yeah, at the moment when I pull up like a revision or add a sell a new item, that's correct. That it's only allowing a single zip code at the moment. The options to expand that are the shipping rates table, which I would be happy to show if you're interested. Or, like I said, that very precise guaranteed delivery is the further step up, but that's only when that's very, very precise for obvious reasons if we're guaranteeing it.
Sure. So when I list some new items and they're going to be shipping from multiple warehouses, should I put the primary zip code that those items are coming from, and then um, you're pretty much telling me not to worry about to put the other zip codes that it may be coming from?
So for the section in the listing itself, the item location, put the primary one.
The one that it'll be shipped from the most, correct?
Correct.
Okay. That's one of those things that can be a little bit hard to predict because I don't know if a lot of the customers are going to be buying it from the East
Right.
Coast or the West Coast or Central United States. So, it's kind of a sticky situation there for putting in what's the most representative. But are you saying that if I put what I believe or anticipate to be the primary location for the ship from address, then the algorithm is smart enough to know that if it's being shipped from these other addresses consistently, that there won't be any issues?
Correct.
Okay. Is there anywhere I can find that? Because I wasn't able to find that anywhere on eBay's website. You're the first guy who's told me about that.
They're probably at the moment. I'll double check. But with us updating, going through it, I'm just going by the knowledge that's available right now. There very well may not be an option for that. And then maybe while we're still reviewing it, that we don't have that written down in policy.
So is that like internal notes that you have, or you guys have internal meetings? Where's that information coming from?
It comes from a little bit of the notes we have. It comes from our experiences. It comes from leadership. It's just kind of what's called just kind of general customer service knowledge.
Okay.
So if that's the case, if you want to go by what's written down word by word, it's safest to not assume that and to assume that there is a chance you may have some troubles like that to set up that shipping rate table.
Okay. Still with me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I didn't know if you were looking for something
Yeah.
or what was going on there.
No worries. So yeah, at the moment, if you want the absolute safest thing to do then is to go through and set up the shipping rate table. That will allow you to customize it in depth, then you have to apply that shipping rate table as well.
Okay. Interesting. I would like to know, do you guys have like concierge service for your bigger accounts? Like how does this information get across to these bigger accounts that are using multiple warehouses? At this point, I'm just not so sure based on what I'm seeing in the actual policy itself and some of the kind of contradictory language that I'm hearing in this phone conversation that we're having. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure at this point. I understand what's going on. Is there any information from like your concierge team on how they handle this with relaying those messages over to your bigger accounts? Anything like that? Any more information? At this point, I'm just not confident that I understand what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, we do have what's called our merchant support account. That's for our bigger accounts that they have either our anchor store level or our one above that, the enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
So they're the teams that handle those larger accounts who have the 10,000, 100,000 plus listings.
Is there any way that you can retrieve some notes that's been told to those clients? Just because I'm not so sure I understand the explanation here.
Within regards to that, for that merchant support program, that's for those merchant support accounts. So if you were to upgrade to that, you could gain access to that stuff that they have. But in terms of that, this is what we have available at the moment.
Okay. So could you just quickly summarize for me then what I should be doing going forward?
Okay. So at the moment, you should be using the primary zip code where you believe most of your items will be shipped from. The safest thing to do if you would prefer to have is to set up that shipping rate table, which lets you submit where you can ship items to based on the state-by-state location, depending on economy service, priority, things like that. So in reality, at the moment, based on your listings, just the zip code should be okay. But if you are planning to grow and expand your business as would be expected, that shipping rate table may be useful, or we could look into the guaranteed delivery program if you prefer.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for letting me know all this information. I've got my own notes over here, so I'm gonna do a little bit more research, and if I need to follow up with you guys, I'll go ahead and give you a call back earlier this week.
Perfect. Sounds like a plan.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Very welcome, Jason. I hope you have a good one.
You too. Bye.
All right, so in conclusion, you can tell the rep doesn't really have a solid answer for Jason on what to do, but Jason does tell him, can you please recap at the very end of what I should be doing with my item location policy? And he does say that you should be putting a zip code in for your items, the zip code that your items are most prominently being shipped from. And if you are dropshipping from a place like Walmart or something like that that has a ton of different just fulfillment centers throughout the United States, that is most likely going to be pretty much impossible to find one that is the primary location. So you can possibly go ahead and try to put the primary location, but I think that is going to be a pretty futile effort. The one way you could do that is you could go through all of your listings or all of your recently sold items, check the tracking numbers, check the destination that they started from, and see if there's one that is overwhelmingly being shipped from the most. You could possibly do that. What am I going to do? Well, to address the fact that people are putting also that they're putting their own item location, their own zip code where they live, I don't think that that wasn't talked about at all, and I don't think that that really matters or if that's a great idea. He does say that you can't put multiple locations on your listings, but I checked and I still have multiple locations on all my listings and new listings that have come up since this call was made about 2 days ago. So that goes to show that eBay reps don't always know what they're talking about, and it really is still an iffy situation. But what am I going to do? I am personally probably going to run an experiment I'm all about the experiments, on maybe 10, 15, 20 items, new items that I put up, maybe 10 that have the prominent zip code, because I don't use Walmart or Amazon or Home Depot. I do use a supplier that has less warehouses, I believe 5 throughout the United States, and there is one prominent one that I think the majority of the items are coming from. So I'm going to test that out as a location on my items, maybe 10 new items, 10 with item location, 10 with multiple locations, and see if there's any real huge difference between it, because I know that if these items are different, then there is just a chance that they're going to be getting different impressions no matter what. But if there's just a massive difference between the ones that have have an accurate zip code and ones that don't, then that could actually sway my decision towards putting zip codes on my listings. But at the moment, I still have all of my listings with multiple locations, and I think you should too, until you run an experiment on what you actually, and come to a conclusion for yourself. Like I said, you can call in if you want, get another eBay rep and see what they say. They've been known to, just give different answers no matter what. So I hope this video was helpful. I really hope that it did get you some certainty, or at least some help on what to do, because it's really them trying to combat people that are shipping items from China that are saying they're in the United States, which is a big issue. And also just the fact that there's drop shippers out there that are using Amazon, and they're clearly cracking down on Amazon drop shipping onto eBay, and it's just people that are drop shippers that just aren't giving proper, just any proper handling times, whether they're saying it's coming from here and it's taking a long time from China, or if they're saying it's coming from their home address or their home zip code and it's just taking forever to get there because they don't know what they're doing, their handling times are off, or anything like that. I really do think that that's what this whole entire policy update was about, and as long as you're giving good customer service, your items are being tracked and shipped on time and everything, I don't think you will have any issues. I went into my account and I checked the policy update, or the, if there's any policy issues like the rep goes and talks about, that I put the screenshot up on the screen, and I didn't have any. So that's just another thing. I'll put a little screenshot down here of my policies. I don't have anything, and even if I go into the listings and it says item location policies, it says that I have no issues. But as you can tell, like I said, I have multiple locations on all my items, so I'm not even being flagged for the item location policy or being, hit with that, because I've seen some people that say however many items they have need an item location or a zip code update. and I don't have that on my listings. So I'm not sure 100% what to do, but I am going to run an experiment. I'm going to come back with some results later on, and hopefully eBay comes out with some more updates, really just telling us what is the issue with this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Like I said, smash that like button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, because we're putting out some of the best content on eBay dropshipping out there on YouTube right now, and you don't want to miss out. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.